Warm welcome back. My name is YAJE'S and I've been putting out a series every Wednesday on what you should know about weight loss. Today's video is episode number 6 in the series and we are going to be talking about fruit. But don't worry, I'm not about to demonize fruit. The purpose is just to provide you with information, provide you with knowledge, and then you're going to take that knowledge and apply it in your particular case. I promise you, there's things that you're going to find out that you did not know. The purpose of this video is not to say fruit is bad for you, but if weight loss is your goal, if you're still struggling with weight, there are things that you need to understand so that you can incorporate fruits better into your diet. Last week I talked about carbohydrates and what you should know about carbohydrates when weight loss is your goal. I did not mention fruits because I was going to talk about fruits in a different episode. So today we're going to find out all about fruit, what you need to know about fruit when weight loss is the goal. Who I am trying to address with this episode is a particular kind of person. I have somebody in my head. I'm talking to you if you still carry excess body fat. That means that you have a body mass index more than 25. If you constantly experience cravings, especially cravings for carbohydrates, this episode is for you. However, if you're normal weight, you don't have any issues with your blood sugar, you don't experience carbohydrate cravings, you can still watch just for knowledge, but whatever I'm about to say in this episode would not apply to you. I like to establish a definition so that we all know what we're talking about. I know you may be thinking you know what fruit is, but let us just establish that definition so that we are There's the botanical way of looking at it, which would be any part of the plant that carries the seeds, right? That would be botanically speaking. Then there's also the nutritional or culinary definition, which is usually something that is sweet, is fleshy, and is sweet. So today I am talking about fruit in the culinary or nutritional sense of the word. Fruit is usually composed of water, vitamins, usually vitamins A and C, and then carbohydrates. But the carbohydrates in fruits are in the form of simple sugars. Most of the time it's a sugar known as fructose, and there is also fiber in fruit. And the reason why most of us include fruit in our diet, one, is refreshing, right? It's very refreshing. Two, it helps with digestive issues, right? If you're suffering from constipation and things like that, fruit helps because of that fiber in fruit. It will help relieve some of that constipation. And then for some of us, it is also a way to satisfy our sweet tooth. What are your 3 favorite fruits? Whenever you eat fruit, what kind of fruit do you eat? I asked this question on my social media handles to help me come up with some examples that I'm gonna use in a demo later on to just show you what fruit portions look like, the calorie content, the carb content, and the sugar content. So let me know what your 3 favorite fruits are, and then we'll see if they feature in the examples that I'm going to be showing you later on in the video. I always like to explain things. By the way, my background is in biochemistry, so bear with me if this is a little too sciencey, but I'll try to keep it high level because I believe that when you understand some things, then it's easier to implement. Again, I'm going to try to keep this very, very high level. The main sugar in fruit is fructose, and by the way, fructose is very sweet compared to glucose. Fructose is metabolized in the liver. When you eat your fruit and the fructose lines up to get into the liver to be metabolized, when all of that is working right and you eat just a sufficient amount of fruit, there is no problem. However, when you start to consume too much fructose, your liver cannot keep up with the amount of fructose that is coming at it. And that is a problem. Problem number 2. Remember in the video we did on fat cells, and I told you that when your fat cells start to get too full with excess fat, they start to misbehave. One of the things that happens is that you start to produce excess leptin. What is leptin? Leptin is that hormone that signals your brain, that signals your body that you've had enough food. It is nature's appetite suppressant. And when leptin is working right, you know when to stop eating, because you can receive the signal saying that you're full, it's enough, everything is fine. However, when you have excess body weight, leptin is produced in excess by your fat cells. And if you're thinking, oh, then that is a good thing because, leptin will help with appetite suppression, and therefore I don't have to eat too much and it's easy to stop eating. It is not necessarily a good thing. Why? Because the way that your biochemistry works is that you have the hormone and then you have receptors for the hormones, and these receptors are fixed. So when you get an excess of the hormone and there is not enough receptors, there is a problem. Your brain instead shuts down because it is overwhelmed by all the leptin coming in. The receptors don't work the way they are supposed to work anymore, and a situation arises in the body known as leptin resistance. What that means is you are unable to receive signals that you have eaten enough, and then you keep eating and you keep eating and you keep eating and you cannot stop, because now you've become resistant to leptin. As far as I know, when we overeat, we're not overeating salads or broccoli. When we overeat, we want to eat things that are very high in carbohydrates, all of that junk. That is what we crave. And this is how you end up with excess cravings for carbohydrates, because your leptin is not working right. Excess leptin is produced when you overeat things that have fructose in them. The things that have fructose in them are fruit, but they are also refined junk food. If you still have excess body weight, if you are overweight, if you already have blood sugar issues, then overeating fruit, remember, I am not here to say fruit is bad for you. I'm only here to tell you that if you're overweight, then when you overeat fruit, it makes a bad situation worse. But let me say this, nobody ever is overweight because they ate too much fruit. I am not contradicting myself. If you're normal weight, it means your metabolism is working fine, everything is fine. None of this is your problem, okay? Jump and pass, move on. Again, I'm talking to the people that are still struggling with excess weight just to watch how much fruit they consume. But let me say this, nobody ever is overweight because they ate too much fruit. I am not contradicting myself. If you're normal weight, it means your metabolism is working fine, everything is fine. None of this is your problem, okay? Jump and pass, move on. Again, I'm talking to the people that are still struggling with excess weight just to watch how much fruit they consume. And I may end up having too much to say and this video becomes too long. In that case, I'm going to split it up into 2 videos, part 1 and part 2. So if this ends up being part 1, be sure to watch part 2 as well so you get the complete information. Thank you very much.